Have been waiting for that moment for decades. So let's go live now to ABC 26 Sports Director Ed Daniels, who is live in Fort Lauderdale. Hey, Ed.
Hi, ladies. Well, I guess we have our own anticipation gauge here in Fort Lauderdale because the crowd around the beach and the number of Saints fans, both here and in Miami, this Wednesday evening has grown exponentially. So we can start to feel a little bit of that Super Bowl fever here in South Florida. It has really ramped up today. And when Peyton Manning's dad makes an appearance Super Bowl week, it is news. And today Archie Manning appeared at a press conference in Fort Lauderdale. Archie Manning, part of the distinguished group, handing out the Madden Most Valuable Protector Award to the Saints offensive line. Archie is a Colts fan Sunday, but he has been a Saints fan since the club drafted him in the first round in 1971.
I knew the Saints one day in my lifetime were going to get to the Super Bowl. I've always felt like that. My wife and I always had a dream that Ole Miss would get back to the Sugar Bowl, but they hadn't yet, and I still hope they will in my lifetime, and that the Saints get to the Super Bowl. So they're here, and it's somebody asked me, how they did it. I said, well, it didn't take us but 43 years down there to figure it out, but they're here, and they deserve to be here.
And one of the reasons why the Saints are a deserving club and NFC champions is the improvement in their defense. They are lowly rated in total yards, but highly rated in turnovers. Here's Damon Darrensburg.
Ed, ever since Sean Payton arrived in New Orleans, his offense has been one of the top ranked in football, leading some so-called experts to believe if his defense could just get in the top 15, this team would probably go to the Super Bowl. Well, this year the New Orleans Saints are proving a top 15 defense is not necessary. Defense ranked 25th in the league, who cares? Ranked 20th in points allowed, so what? If we go by rankings, last year's Saints defense was actually better than this season's squad. Adding the right pieces has made a difference, but the numbers say this year's defense is not that good. So what is different this year?
When you have players that are comparable on teams, the X factor is going to be who turns the ball over. You just want to give your offense an extra possession, your offense an extra chance to score a touchdown for you, put points on the board for you. Any way we can give our offense extra opportunities to put points on the board for us is a plus.
But how do you teach turnovers? Surely the professional football players know the importance of causing turnovers, but why did it click this year and not before?
We all year worked on getting turnovers, picking up turnovers. If you look at the tape last year, we had a lot of opportunities that we never capitalized on. And so I think Greg came in and kind of put it on our mind that we have to capitalize on those opportunities if they present themselves.
This season, the Saints have produced more turnovers than a French bakery, and Greg Williams has been a top pastry chef. The D coordinator says the Saints always had the ingredients for a recipe of success. He just needed to add his own little twist.
When I looked at the defense, I felt like I had a great core of guys. I thought they could play a little harder. I thought they could play a little tougher. I thought they could play a little more nasty, a little bit more aggressive. And that if we could get them to do that and just take the ball away and give our offense a few more opportunities, then we could be special. And it kind of turned out to be that way.
Yes, they were something special. Now, even though the defense was ranked higher in 2008 than they were this year, the defense in 2008 had a turnover ratio of -4. This year's team, +11. It's pretty good. Now, if the Saints win the Super Bowl, it would be the first team with a defense ranked so low to do so. So let's go black and gold. Ed?
Okay, Damon Darrensburg reporting. Thank you, Damon. Now, coming up at 6:30, a New Orleans Saint who has lost carries but hopes to gain a Super Bowl ring. We'll have that for you coming up. Jessica, Jocelyn?
Looking forward to it. Thanks a lot, Ed. Well, it looks like they finally got some really nice weather down there. So the question now is, how do Saints fans shake off that intense South Florida heat? ABC 26 News reporter Sheldon Fox has the answer in South Beach.
Hey, Joe. Oh, hey. Welcome to Miami, where the assignment today is ultra tough. Miami and New Orleans are linked by more than just a game to be played on Sunday. I'll give you a hint as to how. It has to do with one of these. After the rays are soaked up and the oil's rubbed in, there's a special place for Saints fans on South Beach to cool off.
It's our Hurricane Force Breeze. This is orange flavored with grain alcohol. Notice Who Dat Octane is our most popular drink.
Fat Tuesdays on Ocean Drive serves up Saints-flavored drinks sports Crescent City street signs, and is all about a carnival decor. What started as a small daiquiri spot near New Orleans years ago has now become a national chain with branches in Philadelphia, Las Vegas, and South Florida, where a Super Bowl featuring the Saints means it's time to deck the place out in all things Houdat. Wonder what visiting Saints fans think.
They're excited. This is their bar. You know, this is New Orleans.
We love the Saints.
Manager Mark Wallace grew up in New Orleans East, forbids employees from rooting against the Saints on Sunday, and even before the big game, he's ready to pour a victory drink.
Do that?
We're not on camera, are we?
No.
Okay.
It's off hours, right?
Will I be able
We're
to
not
throw
working.
a 50-yard pass?
Oh,
On the money?
50 on the money. 10 out of 10.
Come midnight tonight, Ocean Drive shuts down entirely for a huge street party that would probably won't be as big or as good as Mardi Gras. Sheldon Fox, ABC 26 News.
All right, Saints. Woo!
Sheldon has a tough job out there, doesn't he?
It looks like it.
Well, a former Saint is now making big plays for the Miami Dolphins, and Ricky Williams is also making a push for people to veg out.
Kurt Sprang is live in Fort Lauderdale with more Mission Miami. Kurt?
Well, Ricky Williams knows he has to hang on to the pigskin on the football field, but at the dinner table, don't ask him to even touch any kind of animal meat to eat.
There wasn't much of a pity party in New Orleans when Ricky Williams left for Miami. Here in sunny Florida, Williams' life is much different. For starters, he's a vegetarian.
You know, when I was eating meat, I ate a lot of meat and I enjoyed it, but when it left, you know, it left.
Williams and PETA teamed up for a taste test at his Ocean Drive restaurant. The topic, chicken wings, a favorite Super Bowl binge food. Except these really aren't chicken, they're vegetarian, and Williams is serious about his soy.
It's kind of spicy, got a nice little kick to it.
Williams says he became a vegetarian in 2002 during a trip to Australia. Now he's also taking pre-med classes in the off-season. And for a guy who once avoided reporters, Williams is now a pretty good politician, like when he's asked for a Super Bowl prediction.
You're from New Orleans, right? Yeah. So I have to say the Saints, right? Yeah. Okay.
Now, Ricky could not have been more cordial today. He seemed very comfortable. You know, when he first got to New Orleans out of college, we all remember he had a bit of a rough start in New Orleans. There was the wedding picture photograph with Mike Ditka that was misinterpreted by a lot of people. There was the period where he wouldn't take off his helmet in the locker room. Then he goes to Miami, bails on his contract there to go live the Rasta lifestyle, if you will. Now he's back, he's playing well, and you really get a sense that for the first time, perhaps, he is very comfortable with who he is, very comfortable in his shoes, so to speak, although he still seems a little bit iffy about answering New Orleans questions. Kind of strange. Back to you guys.
Well, and he seemed a little iffy on who he was rooting for, too, Kurt.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right, thanks a lot, Kurt Springer.
We done bucked the Cardinals and the Vikings too. Pants on the ground now, what you gonna do? 'Cause we going to Miami, baby.
And that, of course, right there, ABC 26 News reporter Glenn Boyd, also known as Newsman, recording his first Saints song in the studio today. It's Glenn's own tribute to his beloved boys in black and gold, and the song is called That's Who Blues. If you'd like to hear more of Glenn's musical talents, just tune in at 6:30 to our newscast, just 20 minutes away, right here on ABC 26 News. Not bad.
I thought I recognized that guy. Way to go, Glenn. More Mission Miami coming up right after the break.
This is an ABC 26 Sports Special, Mission Miami.
And welcome back, Saints fans. This is Mission Miami, and the Super Saints fans are hitting the road headed to the MIA.
ABC 26 News reporter Sandra Gonzalez caught up with some Saints super fans loading up for the big journey to the Super Bowl.
Jessica and Jocelyn, we're inside an RV, kind of like a Miami mobile for Super Saints fans Abdullah the Tent Maker and Mousy. They're taking New Orleans with them. They're taking beads, pennants, you name it. They're calling this a road trip of a lifetime.
Go marching in.
One last song before Mousy and Abdul, the tent maker, hit the road, bound for Miami.
It means a lot to the fans like myself who have been wanting and wishing and hoping and praying for this for so many years. So I guess, you know, it's a dream come true, and it's an opportunity for us to see something that this whole city and state have been looking for a long, long time.
They've talked about this trip for years.
We've always dreamed of making a trip like this, Mousy and I, as many years as we've suffered with this football team. It feels good to finally realize our dream of going to a Super Bowl.
I want you to have a safe trip.
Thank you, Ms. Larry. Thank you very much.
But before they leave New Orleans, a large group of fellow Saints fans come to bid them farewell. Budget Saver grocery store even loaded up some food for these longtime devoted fans.
No calories, yeah, I like that.
Friends got a load of this Manning mannequin, and these fans don't care if he's from New Orleans.
That's just to show that it's war. He could be from down the street. He could have grew up next door to me. I don't care. He's going against my black and gold, and that just can't happen.
They will wave the black and gold.
Bring it on. Yeah, who dat?
And represent the Who Dat Nation, hoping to return with their Saints, earning a Lombardi trophy. Now, ladies, take a look at this hood ornament. New Orleans' own Peyton Manning, sure to catch a lot of attention on the road to the Super Bowl. Jessica and Jocelyn, back to you.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Well, these Super Saints fans say they're not only bringing style from New Orleans, they'll bring New Orleans culture as well, meaning there will be second lining and, of course, brass bands. If you are Miami bound, we've got just the place to show off your black and gold spirit. Come join me, Kurt Sprang, Ed Daniels, and Sheldon Fox for a Mission Miami pep rally, 7 p.m. on Saturday. It will be at the Hilton Miami Downtown Hotel. That's at 1601 Biscayne Boulevard. You'll see some familiar faces, the Saintsations, the Whistle Monster, and Saints Hall of Famer Ricky Jackson, just to name a few. For tickets or more information, you can call this phone number. It's 1-877-886-4355. We'd really love to see you there.
More Mission Miami coming up after the break.
This is an ABC 26 Sports Special, Mission Miami.
Welcome back to Mission Miami. Before Saints fans hit Miami's hot spots, they may want to grab 1 or 2 bottles of water.
Yeah, the skies have finally cleared out and the mercury is on the rise in the MIA. Bruce Katz. Bruce.
Perfect job.
If the Saints win or lose, you can count on a great parade rolling downtown to honor the team, so mark your calendar. It kicks off at 5 p.m. Tuesday, that's February 9th, or next Tuesday. The parade starts at the Dome, then heads toward the river on Poydras Street. It will then turn south on Loyola Avenue, down Howard Avenue, up St. Charles to Canal, where it will make a U-turn and eventually head down Convention Center Boulevard. It will end up in front of the New Orleans Convention Center. You can count on ABC 26 News to offer you a front row seat of that parade during our Mission Miami special parade coverage.
Take a look, Jocelyn. This is where you will be on Saturday.
Beautiful.
More Mission Miami coming up right after the break.
ABC 26 Sports Special, Mission Miami.
In 2006, the Saints came home to play an unbelievable first game in the Dome since Katrina.
ABC 26 News anchor Michael Hill shows us in tonight's Moments in Saints History.
September 25th, 2006, an emotional homecoming for the New Orleans Saints, their first game in the Superdome since Katrina devastated the city. The spotlight was huge as the world's eyes and attention still focused on the Crescent City. The 2-0 Michael Vick-led Atlanta Falcons had perched themselves opposite the 2-0 Black and Gold on ESPN's Monday Night Football. On their first possession in the first quarter, the Falcons' Michael Kanan went to punt the ball from his own 19-yard line.
Look out, right through! A pick block by Steve Gleason. It is scooped and scored by Curtis DeLoach. And for those people who look to the New Orleans Saints as something that will uplift them, uplift this city, uplift the entire Gulf region, they just had it.
Atlanta never recuperated. The emotional charge bolted the Saints to a 23-3 victory and on their way to a playoff-bound season.
What a great game. Thanks, Michael. And the Saints went on to the playoffs that season, but lost the NFC Championship to the Chicago Bears.
Well, when it comes to showing off your Saints spirit, ABC 26 News has you covered.
We certainly do. You have a chance to win this autographed Marcus Colston jersey, and it's all part of a A1 Appliances Text to Win Mission Miami contest right here on ABC 26.
Yeah, all you have to do is text WHODAT to 38628. We'll announce the big winner of the Marcus Colston signed jersey this Saturday during our Mission Miami special from 7 until 10 p.m. Of course, it's right here on ABC 26 News. More Mission Miami coming up right after the break.
From all of us at the North Institute, go Saints!
This is an ABC 26 Sports Special, Mission Miami.
Welcome back to Mission Miami, and this is a WHODAT card, and really over 1,000 people have already downloaded this card.
It's really amazing, and it's so cool because you can become a card-carrying WHODAT member. All you have to do is log on to our website. Of course, that's abc26.com. There you'll find a Mission Miami link. It's right on our homepage. Click on that. You can download the card and print it off at home. That way you can show off your WHODAT spirit to all your friends and family as the Saints head to Super Bowl 44.
And it's really a cool little card. It says right on the top, WHODAT card. There's a line for your name and your address, and on the bottom it says abc26.com, which is our regular website. Then add the slash and the Saints, and that'll take you to your headquarters for all the info you need on the Saints and their trip to the Super Bowl.
That's right. We have covered their entire season there for you, and we're going to cover their big Super Bowl win as well after the Super Bowl.
Yes, and every day this week, join us from 6 to 6:30 for Mission Miami. And we'll leave you tonight with the sights and sounds of this unbelievable, incredible Saints season.
And we also leave you with the ABC 26 Saints official song, I Believe, Go Saints All the Way by Angela Bell. We do appreciate you watching this evening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for more Mission Miami, as Jessica said, 6 to 6:30. Go Saints!